Most of these big changes we've seen to our daily lives and to our politics because of the pandemic, I could do without, and I'm sure you feel the same. But there is one change that I'm quite happy about. Do you notice we're not hearing all that much about climate alarmism right now? The nonstop, 24/7 reporting, tearing out of hair, anger, irate postings, demands that extreme imminent action must happen at all times. It was kind of maddening. It was kind of exhausting. And for a large part, it's been put on hold. And isn't that refreshing? It's great. Let's hope it stays this way. Probably not, but there are a number of reasons for this. We've seen reports that tell us that emissions have obviously dropped down because planes aren't up in the air. A lot of the economy has ground to a halt. There's been different reports about it over the past few months discussing the exact percentage that has gone down. And climate alarmists, they're not too sure what to do about this because they are already saying behind the scenes, well, it's not enough, we need more and so forth. But I think there's no political capital for that right now, no social capital for people to hear all of that complaining. Elizabeth May, she actually originally said a few months ago that this stuff we're seeing right now, the economic shutdown, and I don't mean now as in July and August when everything was shut down, she actually gave a press release saying, we got to keep things like this for the benefit of climate change. Wow. I think one thing that climate alarmists are realizing that all this sort of stuff that they were saying we needed to do, we need like a war effort to deal with climate change, well, they're seeing that that is how we're living right now, and people don't like it. Regular folks of all walks of life, all political backgrounds, they want to go back to some semblance of the way things were before. So I think the climate alarmists need to look around and see a number of things. They need to see that, one, people don't want to live under these tight restrictions that they inevitably want to bring about. Because a lot of them basically admit, whether it's Elizabeth May or Naomi Klein or Greta Thunberg, that we need to really bring economic activity to a considerable reduction to see the emissions reductions that they want to bring about. And people aren't up for that. And the other thing that's really interesting that I think they should reflect on as well is we don't need to be in this ever maddening state of climate alarmism. I mean, we were reading all of these unfortunate stories about climate change alarmism causing depression and anxiety, and people had to be medicated and so forth, and children actually getting really upset about it, hearing it talked about in the schools, this whole we have 7 years left or 12 years or whatever it is to save the planet statistics that, by the way, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, they themselves have been stepping forward and telling all of these alarmists and activists, calm down, you guys are going over the top. So I think what we have right now is kind of a pause moment for climate activists to kind of grab their bearings and realize, guys, relax. You want to talk about being responsible stewards for the environment and dealing with different industry standards and emissions protocols and all that, okay, fine. Go right ahead, but this constant, non-stop, maddening din, we don't need it, and quite frankly, we've seen we're a lot better off from it, and when we're actually faced with really difficult circumstances like we're in right now, the challenge just kind of pales in comparison, and a lot of people, they just don't have patience for it. So this whole thing has been something of a lesson for the climate alarmists, and I'm quite frankly happy to have spent 6 months hearing from them non-stop every single day. Aren't you?